This episode of Off the Job Podcast is sponsored by Gas Certificate app.
This one's for the engineers who hate admin. Tap fill, send, job done. Try a Gas Certificate app and save 30% on your yearly plan with Pod 30. Built by a gas engineer, proper job.
This episode of Off the Job Podcast is sponsored by Ridgeline.
Right, welcome to Off the Job. We today, right, me, Peter Withers, and Mim. Go on, introduce yourself.
He does this weird thing. My name's Keiran Yates.
Right, because they always go on at us. They go, introduce yourself. Not just the guests. They go, all right then. But he's like long pauses.
Waits for the cue.
Yeah.
I don't know when the queue is.
But I just go, and he is, and then you go, oh, he does this weird thing. Like,
sometimes he'll talk 5 minutes and then expects me to know when to come in.
Anyway, the two special guests, if you don't know them already, is R&R Building Services. We have Leo and we have Tom.
How you doing?
That's a great introduction, wasn't it? Yeah?
It's a solid.
Yeah, it's good. I like that.
It's a bit of an awkward moment a minute ago because I said, oh, he just started following you.
Where did R&R come
You know
from?
what?
That's a good question.
Ah, yeah, go on.
I'm Leo Rue, and he's Tom Richmond.
Leo Rue.
It's not that deep, unfortunately.
not that deep.
People.
He didn't want to go L&T.
No. We joked for ages about it, didn't we? Because
You just called ourselves R&R when we didn't even work together.
yeah, just as a joke. It's not that funny.
I know, I was waiting for the punchline.
Yeah. It was more of a piss take than anything, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Sorry,
'Cause we
am I
were
allowed to
separate
swear?
companies,
Sorry.
Yeah.
Who was
Fuck
this twat?
Yeah, it was more of a piss take, wasn't it? Than
It was a
anything?
piss take.
And then it sort of stuck.
So you're both builders.
Yeah.
What, builders or, hang on a minute,
Go on.
or are you carpenters?
No, I wish we were carpenters, to be
No,
fair.
I think if we called ourselves carpenters, people would actually have a bit of history about it.
Oh, really? So
there's
what
a
do
bit
you,
of controversy around
what
it.
is your specialised trade then? Do you have one or you do
Nah,
everything?
not really. A bit of everything.
All right.
I started out as an electrician. Sorry.
We all have.
Nobody
We
told
all
me
change, isn't it? Is it
Nobody
quite
told me this.
Why-
I kept it under wraps so I could infiltrate you.
Oh, God, he smuggled himself in here.
I'm in.
Do you know what? I've never known so many people have started electrics and changed. Like,
'cause
that's
it's a
telling something, isn't it?
Shit job, it's the worst job. They all find out. Oh, fuck that. I don't want to do that anymore.
I couldn't deal with the heat. Do you know what I mean? Just like plumbers just coming at you all the time, just
I know.
all upset.
I love your look though. Like, I've never seen builders dressed like you two. You don't look English. You look like you're from a different country the way you're dressed.
The Netherlands or something. He's got a set of clogs on under there.
Fun
Like,
fact.
you dress so different to an English builder, but it looks cool. It looks good.
No, it's good, isn't it?
You
I
should
like
have R&R on the strap.
Yeah, we should do R&R straps, to be fair.
it.
Are you like part-time strippers?
Oh,
I wish. It's probably better money.
I think there's plenty of people out there that want Tom to be a part-time stripper, to be honest
The
with you.
braces, though, they are like, they help, don't they? Because that stops the old joke when you're on a step ladder, people just whooping them down.
Yeah.
Innit? That's why
it
you.
stops the plumber's crack.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it does encourage the twanging of the straps.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, don't
Did
do
you
it.
get that?
Nipples.
Don't do it.
I've got-
He's massive.
I know he's massive, but I can't help it.
It's going to be red raw one.
I'm just like, if you tell me not to do something, I'm gonna do it. But so the R&R is your actually building services now. You're known as R&R out in the general public because you are on social media now, and you're making a bit of a presence for yourself.
Yeah, it seems
so
that way.
R&R. So you work just around your area, or you going out further? Or are you?
No.
How's it work?
We try and keep it as local as possible, don't we?
Yeah.
And we ultimately we earn the same money going 5 minutes around the corner as we do travelling an hour up the road. Do you know what I mean? So ultimately we try and keep it as local as possible. And in terms of like what we actually do, we run like a turnkey sort of construction renovation service basically. So we do everything from sort of planning and conception all the way through to painting and decorating.
Right. Okay.
So we've got like a nice team of people around us that basically help us with each of those different elements.
So you sub the work out, or you've got in.
Well,
Small bits.
technically, we do sub it out, but we like for our sort of things like drawings and whatnot. All our architect and building control, structure engineer, all of that. We use the same people every single time who also all know each other.
Right.
So it basically, like, we can guarantee our service. We can guarantee our sort of what we actually turn out as an end product. Basically.
So how long have you been going then?
So R&R, we've only been going about 4 years, I think, really. But together,
coming up, isn't it? It's got to be coming up. Well,
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah, but actually, as R&R, it's like just over 3, isn't it? Nearly 3, because then before that we were sole traders.
Mate, we've been working together for a long time.
How did you
together a long
meet?
time.
Yeah, how did you two meet?
For a mate, wasn't it?
Yeah, for a mutual friend,
innit?
yeah.
Friend of a friend.
Yeah.
Dating.
Yeah.
Dating?
No, not actually dating.
No,
No, it's just like dating. Like
Oh,
friend of
like
friends,
dating.
you know what
I thought you meant you...
Yeah.
Don't-
So you was
wish.
both builders before you met, and then you just thought, let's try and
Yeah,
do a
basically,
business
Yeah, I
together.
wouldn't say I was a builder when I met Leo. I worked for Leo as a labourer when I first started.
Yeah. So I had a little construction firm, and then like a mutual friend basically said about Tom who needed a bit of work, so he came along and joined in, which was fun.
What made you join forces then? Did you thought,
Well,
I've got a good guy here?
yeah. From that point, it got a bit weird, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, tell us.
It's all like ups and downs.
Oh, it's just it's complicated, isn't it?
And it's the beautiful carnage.
Beautiful carnage.
What happened?
Well, so long story long.
Don't hit the table, Tom.
Sorry. Oh, it's that, isn't it? Sorry.
Every time you do that...
I'll get slapped. So, yeah, we started out, like I say, as a labourer, coming along with my mate Jake. We did a job for a pretty clever dude, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty clever dude. And at the end of that job, he basically offered Leo a job. So subsequently, Leo took that job and sacked us.
Sorry.
So everyone.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That was awful.
It was a good decision at the time, though. Leo did it for a good reason.
It was
He
bad.
didn't do it just to sack us.
Yeah, it was quite like, basically this fella had a civil engineering firm and he wanted to go into house building. So we did a couple of projects with him, and then he said, "Look, would you be interested in coming on board full time employed?" As we all know, like running a firm is actually quite stressful, especially when you've got blokes working for you full time. So
can imagine that,
I sort of weighed everything up and just sort of went, "Yeah, do you know what? This will be all right." And it wasn't entirely selfish. He offered everyone that worked with us a job as well.
Right.
He did. He just didn't take it.
No. So yeah, then I had to sack everyone, which was awful.
Right.
It wasn't fun. We went to the pub, didn't we? After that, Tom got PTSD.
Yeah,
he couldn't go in a pub for months.
Yeah.
Well, you done a favour then.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, sorry, that
Yeah,
was
it's a good
bad.
point.
His liver owes you a lot.
Yeah.
Big time.
You're welcome.
I even bought the beers.
Yeah, he did. It was bad. He was like, I'll get the beers. I was like, no, please don't get the beers. He's like, no, I'll get the beers.
Pittance of a wage.
Now he can never buy a beer again.
Yeah, basically.
Right, okay. The group situation. He's labelled the tight arse of the group. Right, okay.
Sorry, boys, got to go on.
Sorry, I can't get it anymore. I've heard of some excuses, going to the toilet and all that, but PTSD, get around him. But yeah, go on. So you went to this firm then?
Yeah, so eventually we ended up on the firm, didn't we, together?
Yeah, it did. After about a year or so, probably 9 months. And
Yeah,
I ended
yeah.
up coming on.
After you've been to counselling and everything.
Cancelling,
Basically,
yeah.
yeah.
Drunk my life away.
Yeah.
Things like that.
At home, not at a pub.
Not at a pub, obviously. Yeah.
After going to the Christmas do and still drinking all the beer and still saying no.
Yeah, you did.
That was a bit harsh, right?
Yeah, you did. So then we did that. We both went on this firm, and then ultimately built a few houses for him, which was interesting. That was all through COVID.
Big learning curve, that one, wasn't it?
Big old learning curve.
Cool.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
It was interesting. It was interesting.
Learned how to run a job better, didn't we? I would say, like how
Yeah.
to organise things a bit better with that. You know, because obviously we're used to sort of extensions.
Yeah, and I've run jobs
Right.
for years, but not on that scale. Like building, like we built sort of 3 massive units for him, which massive units.
Yes.
Just like a couple, a few big
A
houses.
big one, nice.
Yeah, it was interesting, but yeah, then COVID hit, and so we were trying to like navigate sort of construction through COVID, which was tricky for everyone, like the material shortage and whatnot. So trying to have to think ahead of everything that was going to happen, order all materials in when we needed them, manage actual personnel on site, and then after COVID, once we'd completed that project, he was shopping around for more land to keep us going and just wasn't finding anything that was suitable. So essentially, he gave us a year off, didn't he?
We built your house in the time, didn't we?
Yeah. So I just put through a little project at my place to build a little house and do an extension on my house, and he said, "Look, I want to keep you guys around." He had a bit of a wobble, didn't he? He sort of let everyone else go.
Yeah,
He had sort of 5 gangs and let all them go. Kept us on because he wanted to carry on doing the house building, and then. Just basically it took a year for him to find anything, but in that time he decided just to wrap it up. So he gave us a year off. We went to my house and just built stuff, which was really nice.
Yeah.
Funny old opportunity that was.
That's cool job, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was fun. And then and then he came and just basically sacked us.
Yeah.
Got a taste of my own medicine, didn't I?
I was used to it by this point.
Was it in the pub? Was it round a beer?
Sadly not.
No, that's
Where
like
was-
a caravan, actually.
And he can never go to Butlins again.
I know, that's it.
So how was that having a year off then doing your own project? That must have been.
Yeah, it was
Nice.
weird. It was like this is some sort of magical dream. Like just basically being paid to build my own place.
Yes, that's
pretty good.
good
wasn't it?
opportunity.
He actually paid you for a year.
Yeah, just kept us on the cards. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, blimey.
yeah, it was really weird.
Yeah, it was strange.
And we were like, what does he want?
Yeah, what time do I finish today?
Yeah, it was a weird one, wasn't it?
It was weird.
because it was sort of like half and half or something, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Like, with
yeah,
me,
yeah.
anyway.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
me, it didn't really change. I was still, as far as I knew, I was just still working. You know.
Did he pay for your house as well?
No, I didn't pay for the house. But yeah, so we got that across the line, didn't we? And then he came and basically said, listen,
We built 2 houses, didn't we? Basically, we did that big house. We did a house for your dad,
yeah,
and a massive extension on yours, didn't we?
yeah,
Yeah, we did
so we
those.
did that. Yeah.
You don't need a space age toolkit for Ridgeline. It plays nice with the gear already in the van, so you're not spending extra just to make the switch.
Yeah, so we did those, and then he basically came and let us go, which we knew was going to happen at some point.
Yeah.
Like, you could just see.
We can't get paid for doing our own stuff.
Yeah,
For this long.
So yeah, that happened, and then we had a little bit of time, didn't we? It was quite a nice position to be in. We sort of had a bit of time to be able to go, like, what are we going to do now? Do we want to carry on doing this? Do I want to go back working for the public? Because I didn't really want to do that, in all honesty. Sorry, customers.
Sorry, right.
I get it.
We kept mentioning it the old time we was working, didn't we?
Yeah.
That was when the R&R thing started.
Yeah, because we were making a joke about us then being made redundant and just going and working together. So yeah, and then we basically decided that was what we were going to do. So we went out, set ourselves up, and off we went.
Yep.
Never looked back.
Tested
How
the
did you
waters.
get your first jobs?
First job
was your
my
mother
in-laws.
and father-in-law, wasn't it?
Yeah, my in-laws. They
So you ripped them off?
yeah, basically, yeah. Took off all
Got
their
the vans
work.
out the shop.
Yeah,
I'm not getting paid anymore.
yeah.
So we've got to double the price.
Yeah. Do you mind? Yeah, so it was that really. They needed their bathroom doing, and they were shopping around, and I just sort of swooped in and was like, "Please let us do this, please."
That's fair enough.
Yeah, so we did that, and it just went from there really.
Yeah.
And everything since then's pretty much been word of mouth, hasn't it? I don't
Yeah.
think we've done it. Like, obviously, there's social media, but we don't really yield anything really from that. Like,
What was the main purpose of that? Is it to get work in, or what? Or you just
Bit of a portfolio, really, wasn't it?
portfolio.
Portfolio,
really,
yeah. You know, this is us. This is our work. Have a look at it.
Yeah, we just wanted to try and set those wheels in motion, just see if anything would come from it. So just like historical projects that we've done that were legitimately us, but maybe not under the R&R umbrella, just basically started posting those on there, trying to get a bit of traction and also be able to send prospective clients somewhere and say like, oh, this is what we're doing. You know, set up a little website, did that thing, and started joining some Facebook groups, and then just started shooting bits and bobs of content of like us doing little jobs here and there, and then that's kind of started the whole thing sort of growing, really, I suppose.
Did you? I don't know why. I got a feeling, obviously totally wrong, but you both started going in the building trade from school. You strike me as a person that's gone to the army or something. I don't know why.
Do you know what? I was going to
wish.
say
Like,
the
he's
same
very
thing, but
disciplined and
he's-
like he's
he's
just he's
regimental.
yeah,
that little,
regimental.
like,
Yeah,
army moustache he's got.
you seem like you've been in the army.
No, I can't take that credit. I
And
wish.
It's the way about him, yeah,
Way
yeah.
he speaks, yeah, he comes across as
Regimental
like,
and
yeah.
disciplined.
He is well measured.
Yeah.
Like together, we always joke that together we make one person because I'm just like a flappy idiot,
Oh,
and he's
no,
like
no,
cool,
no.
calm, and collected. Yeah,
Was you actually thinking that? It's
I
just
did, honestly. I did. It's the moustache who's doing it.
It's the creepy moustache.
Yeah, it looks like he should be a sergeant major or something like that. Do you know what I mean? It's a young sergeant major in the making.
Yeah, that's it.
yeah. So what sort of jobs you do now then? Now it's sort of moved along a bit. Is it sort of new builds and that, or what's the title? What you go for?
I mean, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
It'd be lovely
That
to
would
get a
be
new
nice.
build,
But honestly, we still stuck with our kind of bread and butter of like, you know, we're doing bathrooms, kitchens. Like, we try and squeeze more extensions in. We haven't got that many lately, but we've got quite a few in the cards.
Yeah.
Like whole house strip outs and, you know, renovations, just things like that.
Structural
really.
work.
Yeah, structural. Lots of structural work actually.
steel
Lots,
work.
you know,
The
steels
same
and
sort of
stuff.
business plan as a couple of mates of mine who do the same sort of thing. Do you know
Right,
what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like a couple
Yeah.
of builders, general builders, and they just
Yeah, but would like to, you know, start stretching to the new build and properties and stuff that we actually have ourselves, just to sort of not to eradicate the customer,
No.
but to have more freedom for
But
ourselves.
that is the thing, innit? If you can buy your own property, that's what my mate used to do. He used
I
to
was
buy
going to
his
say
own
that
properties
actually. Yeah,
and flip them.
Yeah.
Flip them or build them.
it's very hard to find now.
Yeah.
I was going to say about the land thing because the guy that you work for does the land. Even that, a lot of people like to buy their own land, build their own properties, but when you look at it, there's not loads of margin on it. It's quite hard to actually make money, and then it's a struggle to sell them. Like if you looked into that, obviously it takes a lot of money. But
I mean, what's it cost? Like to build, like to buy
That's
like,
a good
like
question,
an acre
actually.
of land. How much is it buy? Like I know it's all geographical thingy and all that, but
put it as building a house because every house is
yeah,
similar.
building an house, yeah. If you're building a house from the ground up, how much do you reckon it's going to cost? You know what I mean? Like say like your 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom house, like detached house.
Isn't it normally thirds?
Yeah, I think it is.
That's like
thirds,
a rule of thumb, isn't it?
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
that?
Like
Thirds.
Thirds.
Yeah, so you're going to drop what, a third on the land?
Third on the land, third on the building,
Build.
hopefully clear a third.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Yeah, I
all.
wonder how much it costs to build a house.
If you were efficient, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, if you're good at it.
If you could, like, if we, I don't know.
Did you learn much about that side of things? Purchasing land. and-
Unfortunately, the idea was that we were going to just keep going with it, but we only got one project through working with this fella. So
Yeah. He had a lot on his plate though, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Whole
Yeah,
civil engineering,
ultimately.
25 blokes from civil engineering gang and then decided to build like £1.5 million of property in the middle of it.
Yeah.
More than that, wasn't it? It was probably near on 2 million. wasn't
Yeah.
it?
I mean, you built your own house, yeah, but you're living in that now, right? Or
Yeah, so I built a house next door to my house. Yeah, just
Right.
a little gaff. Yeah.
out and what you rent that out now?
Yeah, so my dad lives in it.
Right, I got it. So
Yeah.
right, you can't. Dad,
Yeah.
out,
Go on.
selling.
Yeah.
Can't you do that?
Got
No,
cash in.
I get that. But I'd always wanted to have done that, work on my own jobs and flip my own jobs. But like you said, I don't
That's
know
everyone's ideal scenario, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think a lot
But
of
it's
people are
very
striving for
hard.
that.
Yeah.
It is hard, definitely. But ultimately, that would be the goal, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's capital, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like no builder on, I mean, none that we're exactly close who've had suddenly like 200 grand sitting in the bank.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You by the time you have that, you've.
Well, I ain't got
someone's stolen
200
tools,
quid sitting in mine at the moment.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know.
Some guy, do you know Mark from Callisto that we
Yeah.
that had on there? He's going down that route of, but he's basically found like an investor.
Right.
So they front the money for the land
Seems
and
like
the
a lot of
build.
people have to have a money man, don't they?
Yeah,
Things
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, so
We
there's
got
a lot
close
of
to a
companies
money
that do
man, didn't we?
that, but
We got close to a money man in McDonald's.
we did.
We were sat there, we were having
So I
like-
couldn't help but think that you were builders.
Yeah, he just like tapped us on the shoulder from the booth behind us. He was like, "You two builders?" We're like, "Yeah." What's up? And he was like, "Yeah, listen." And they just started doing that like big money spiel. I'm like, "Why are you saying McDonald's?" Just like shoving a Big Mac in your mouth. And he was like, just giving it the big one, wasn't he? About
Yeah.
all these like.
But for sake of it,
must
it
be
didn't
the
seem like-
outfit. Was you wearing that?
Yeah, we were doing a little bit of admin, weren't we?
Something about him wasn't bullshit though.
No, and he
Something about like I think he actually does have this amount of money.
But he keeps like touching base, doesn't he? He keeps like phoning us up. He drove past the other day on the motorway, like bibbing, then phoned me. He was like, "Oh, Leo, will you go to like, I don't know." He was like talking somewhere in central London. I was
Mayfair or
like,
something.
"Yeah, that's it, yeah,
Mayfair.
yeah. This is it. This is how country we are." I was like, "Somewhere in London, Mayfair."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Bloody hell, you should have known that from the Monopoly board.
Yeah, cool. Sorry.
My Monopoly board's Maidstone. It actually is.
Yeah, I got an Essex
It's a
one.
Maidstone Monopoly board, yeah.
I got
Yeah.
I got an Essex one at home.
Have you?
Yeah.
I don't know how to play it, but it's got it.
I didn't know you can get like.
Yeah, you can get like ones for areas, yeah.
Lid's got the old one, like it's all ripped and everything. Do you know what someone mentioned about the jowl person where it's got something missing from it? Then you know it's really old. Do you know the go to jowl
Yeah.
square?
Yeah. Just
There's something
visiting.
on that guy.
Just visiting.
that
Oh,
says-
there's something on the guy.
Yeah, and if it's gone, like if it's not there, then it's a really old one.
This
No,
is
it's
how
like
we can
first
go.
edition.
This is how we can go. Yeah,
Yeah,
can go
I
from
like it.
building to game.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
board
Monopoly
game.
flips.
We were talking about games earlier. We were saying you played Scrabble at the weekend.
I did, yeah.
Turns out Z is a word.
Z, yeah.
Z is a word.
But
Z,
Edam-
Z, did, so you do.
Yeah, Z-E-D. Z is a word, but not Edam.
Wow.
So
Really?
that's that,
I mean, that is amazing content right there, isn't it? I mean,
you reckon you guys want to hear more?
I mean, what about Guess Who? You played that?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like Richard out of Guess Who, aren't you?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I see that in you there.
Thanks.
Yeah. He's
Oh, that's that game that.
What time does this
that
end?
Is that the game where Point is on it?
yeah, he's on it as well. Pointy's on it.
He
Yeah.
proper looks.
Cool,
like
yeah,
him.
he is, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
his name? He's like.
Do you know
Robert.
Pointy? Who just like adding to the drama?
Yeah, no. Oh, yeah, pointers. Yeah, no, we've messaged a few times.
Oh yeah, he
Don't-
caught up with
Yeah,
it.
yeah. don't-
He's Bill on Guess Who. So
Yeah.
you and Paul.
Oh, it's Bill,
I
isn't
guess,
it?
Bill,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he's
Bill and
Bill.
Richard. Yeah.
You really know your Guess Who characters,
I love it.
do you?
Yeah, love Guess Who. I
we
love
have-
cheating because
should
what I
bring it
do
in.
with the kids, right? You got kids. Play this with your kids.
Yeah.
Set them all up
Yeah.
the same.
Ah, nice.
Do you know
yeah,
what I mean?
Yeah, that's
And
decent.
You can see.
Yeah.
Just read it.
Yeah, that's a good
I'll
show.
bring
cheats.
I'll bring Guess Who in and we play on the overtime.
Yeah, should we? Yeah, that'd be really interesting content again.
Yeah, yeah.
And we've slipped off the building here and gone
Yeah,
into the
yeah,
ball
let's-
games. Where was we? The guy. Yeah.
Mayfair.
Mayfair.
Oh yeah, the mogul, the McDonald's mogul. He's in my phone as McDonald's mogul. But yeah, you need a money man, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Unless you're absolutely smashing jobs and ripping people off left, right, and centre.
Yeah, which isn't good.
Which
But
is
what
not
do you
good.
class as a rip-off though these days?
Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you come across any like you must price jobs after people, and then you go in and you go, "Fuck me, where did they come up with that price?"
Yeah, every now and again. But I think ultimately you get a feel for what is right in sort of what people are expecting. Do you know what I mean? Like ultimately, if you're losing jobs left, right, and centre, then you got to adjust your pricing, haven't you? But I don't know. That
It can be said if you're winning every job as well.
that is true.
That's a great point.
How do you price an extension? Like, say if there's quite a big job,
Square
there's
meterage.
plumbing and electrics involved. Would you try and get a quote first, or you go off your knowledge of how much
Yeah,
it should roughly be?
like we tend to estimate jobs first, don't we?
It's definitely with bigger things. Definitely with
Yeah.
bigger things. But with extensions as well, I think when it's something simple like a typical box extension with like a monopitch roof on it, you know what it's going to cost. don't you?
Yeah.
But as soon as things start getting a little bit complicated, then normally like a bit of an estimate, and then it will be actually getting some prices from the relevant people and putting it together. So
Yeah,
like,
basically,
rather
yeah.
than actually stinging ourselves, being like,
Got any plumbers? Have you?
"No plumber."
Do you need any?
You're more than welcome any time.
Mate, I'll help you out if you are his plumber.
Sorry, James.
Tough.
Sorry, James.
What sort of parts of the build do you guys do then? What do you try and get involved with?
So we do groundworks.
Yep.
We do. We don't really do much brickwork. No, we're not very efficient at brickwork.
No.
But we do some carpentry. Then we deal with all of like the basic like boarding, insulation, all that kind of stuff. We do all the finishing stuff. So we'll fit kitchens, we'll fit bathrooms, do all the tiling.
So we're pretty much there the whole time.
Yeah.
Really. By the time you've been there with the bricklayers, mate, you're basically staying there.
Yeah,
You know.
basically, yeah.
How do you find doing a tiling? Because it's a bit of a
Oh, like roof tiling.
No.
bathroom.
Bathroom.
Bathroom time. Yeah, I love that relationship, innit?
Yeah. Who is the tiler? You.
This man,
Because you're very
particular.
precise.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can see by the way you've combed your moustache that
Yeah, that's it.
you are.
I don't know. I can't do it. Yeah, I can type, right, and all of our tiling looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It always looks
and
good.
he's very modest.
But
It all looks good, alright?
but I can't. You know all this crazy new stuff where everyone's doing the mitering and resin and all that sort of crazy stuff. I haven't done that yet.
haven't done that.
Which scares me. I'm scared one day someone's
I
going
mean,
to do that.
things just get more in depth, don't they?
Yeah.
Everything
more
gets harder.
detailed. It's the
Yeah.
same with the plumbing as well.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm sure.
when you like bathrooms and stuff like that, when you're talking about like, you know, people having like things like TVs in bathrooms and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
body jets and all
Gilded
this
niches
malarkey and like and it's getting much more involved. You're not just sticking in the old bath now with some regular taps on. That's why I quit it. That's why I was like, no, I ain't getting involved with that
Oh, do
stuff.
you not do bathrooms anymore?
Nah, fuck that.
Too much,
I'll
innit?
first fix, second fix.
Right.
But I won't get involved with because I
The
used
actual
to,
project,
I used to do the whole project.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I used to get people in, like
Yeah.
an electrician in, get a plasterer
Yeah,
in,
yeah.
and then it was like, I'm project manager, and he's like,
Yeah.
they're making more than me here.
Yeah,
Do
basically.
you know what I mean? So like,
I think that's why we albeit that ultimately we are project managing each thing that we do.
Yeah.
We are still hands on to
Yeah.
try and make it up in terms of like the financial.
Exactly.
Do you
Yeah.
factor that in pricing, like actually job management? Because a lot of people don't do that, do they?
It depends. Like if we are like completely hands off something that's specialist that's going on, then like we'll obviously make a bit on that just for the organisational side of it and just cover all of the faff of doing the admin. But
Because materials, like the bigger the project is, it's very hard to get materials right, isn't it? Like
Yeah,
to actually
definitely.
price for the materials exactly. You could miss a few bits off, and it could be a few £100.
Yeah.
it can
Yeah.
be catastrophic. can't it?
Absolutely, yeah. We've had it on extensions loads of
Yeah,
times.
yeah, yeah.
Loads of
Yeah,
times because you're kind of pricing a bit. What would you say? What's the
Keen.
You're trying to price tight because you're always priced against people, and you're trying not to put like, screw it, and put an extra couple of grand on materials.
Yeah, just to cover yourself.
But then also you don't be sitting there at night counting every single thing, like making a cutting list that's so detailed that you can't go wrong. But then it takes you hours. It takes you days to do stuff like that.
How would you do it then on a bigger project?
Well, I think, as we said earlier, I think ultimately we try and understand if the client first of all has a budget that they want to work to. People can be quite cagey around their budget, which is like
I get that though.
I do get it.
Why would you? Because if you feel like you're going to tell someone and they're going to be like, okay, I'll work it around their budget, rather than it could be cheaper than what they've said.
Yeah, I do agree with what you're saying. I think ultimately, like the bigger stuff that if we're working with an architect on, obviously the architect's already got a handle on budget, because otherwise they could design something that's completely mental and outside of the budget. Do you know what I mean?
It's so what is your budget? It's actually £25,000. Okay, let me come back. They actually come in at $24.99.
Exactly.
What about that? Eh?
How coincidental. Yeah, so you do have to, it can be really beneficial to get a grasp on someone's budget, early on, and just be transparent. Like if you're itemising things, like you can break things down so you can be a bit more transparent, so they can see, where the costs are being attributed. But ultimately, we've done this long enough. We know roughly what things cost, and so and if we go and look at an extension, we're like, okay, well, we've done 3 like this before. Then we can say, well, look, we've done 3 of these. This is how much each of these cost. And yours is slightly different because of X, Y, and Z reasons. We estimate the cost to be in the region of this and this, depending on like your finishes and whatever. So it gives people I know that sounds a bit wishy-washy, but it gives people a bit of scope. And then if we're in the right ballpark, then we can start drilling down on their like wants and needs, and then actually quote it. And at that point, then we're not wasting everyone's time. Do you know what I mean? That's what we try and do early on.
That's what you want to avoid.
Wasting time.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's very valuable in the building game, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And a lot of people will be like, I know a lot of people now talking about charging for quotes. Have you ever charged for quotes?
Never charged for a quote, but
boy, would I love to.
I'd love to. I'd love to. We had some fella recently, and I don't mind talking about it because he was a knobhead.
Right, brilliant. Yep.
We basically cost assessed him like early on, just basically like before I even went to look at the job, basically sent him an estimate, because I was like, I know exactly. He sent me some pictures, sent me some rough dimensions. I was like, it's going to sit between these two like cost bands, right? And he was like, yeah, not a problem. So I was like, okay, I'll book you in for a survey. Went round, surveyed his work. Again, talked through costings, talked through time frames. He was like, yeah, not a problem. This is all aligning lovely. So we work really closely with a bathroom designer. She's absolutely excellent at what she does. So I would never put her in a position where she's going in to design something or meet a client if it's not like pretty much a goer. So sent her around. She talked through a load of products, designed the whole thing. Sent him all the CAD.
I can see where this is going.
Sent him all the CAD stuff. Yeah, you know exactly what's happening. Sent him all the CAD stuff. He okayed it all. Was like, yeah, lovely. So then we sat down, priced it all, sent him the actual quote, and he was like, sorry, yeah, no, it's too expensive. You're like,
it ain't out by that much, is it?
No.
And then he used somebody else.
This is it. And then he's got his design, and it's like that's a system that we have in place. But obviously, there's a few backstops there to try and stop that from happening.
Is there a contract there? Like, is there something?
There's not an actual contract. Which I think
it's hard to put something into contract without the price, isn't it? I don't know.
It's
maybe
hard.
I'm not clued up on stuff like that, but it is hard like that, isn't it?
I mean, but if he's using your design, and he's taken that design for free, and give it to someone else and go, here you go.
Yeah,
that's cutting a cord.
Because should you have to? Does she supply? Is she like a bathroom supplier, or
so
she gets money off the product?
Yeah. So that is a thing that people do. Obviously, like people use Howden as an example, and then go to another kitchen supplier, like a small, a smaller independent or whatever. Like it's not a surprise that happens, but it's just like at the point at which you're like sort of trying to assess what someone's budget is and having all of those discussions, and you're working with them sort of collaboratively, and then all of a sudden that happens. You're like,
can you ask for a deposit?
Yeah, I suppose so. Like we've started to actually do deposits now.
I think that's the thing. Like, if you want us to come through and actually give you a
survey
final survey, then you pay us a deposit.
Yeah. It's got to be the way, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's got to be the way. So many people take deposits, and it's something that we haven't done historically.
Even if it's like, say, like 500 quid or whatever like that, that is covering your time for actually doing it. And then the fact is, when you get the job, it comes off the job, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the projects you must do are quite sort of higher end then, if you got a designer involved.
They're sort of middle to high end.
With a lot of bathrooms, we tried to get them designed just for almost ease of pricing all round. Because we've had a job just probably about a month ago. Actually, it's just same as they don't actually know what they want in their bathroom, but they want a price. On labour and stuff, and you just can't do that. Like, people want all sorts of bananas shit nowadays, like the mitering and all that stuff. And they're like, well, I just want a price for you to put my bathroom in.
Like you say, not knowing what they want.
What tiles do you want first?
It matters.
Yeah, it really does,
would you want a large format one? Yeah, it's going to cost a lot more.
I've done new builds in the past. They say, it's standard sanitary, and then you go there and it's all in the wall. Taps, bloody
they all
wall
want
hung
niches and stuff.
Toilets. You're like, this takes a lot longer than bloody a basin and a concealed toilet.
Yeah, exactly. But they got into a bit fit about that, didn't they?
Yeah.
How much of the plumbing work do you do then? Sounds like you might do it all.
Most of it, apart from heating.
Okay.
So I wasn't going to say most of it. I was going to say the basic stuff just to keep you guys.
I was getting the feel. Guaranteed
We do all of it. Well, it's bloody easy.
But once you know it, it's not that hard, is it?
I actually really enjoy it.
Do you?
Yeah. So you less so, I'd say. You just don't like getting wet, do you? You're like a cat. But I actually quite enjoy it. It's like wet electrics, isn't it?
Yeah,
Have you done? That's the thing with plumbing. Anyone can do it. You don't need a qualification. With electrics, do you do that?
You don't need a qualification with electrics.
Yeah, you technically just need to be a competent person.
You need a competent person, and you need someone to sign.
Not for new circuits and stuff.
Yeah. You just need someone to sign it off.
But
and that's legal that you can get someone to sign your own work off.
Electrics, gas not technically.
Do you fit boilers?
No, we get someone else to fit boilers.
See? Yeah. It's different to the electricians.
It's different.
It's so different.
Have you ever thought about doing it, you gas? Because you're like...
I don't think.
No?
You know, a lot of people, when we used to go through gas, people was like, they was there on the course, never touched a boiler in their life, but they was there to move a cooker point because they was kitchen fitters.
Oh, right,
yeah. That makes sense.
We always had them guys in there.
That's interesting.
But they're learning about boilers and all that, and all they want to know how to do is move a bit of pipe, and do a gas test and test it at Hobbs fine.
That's actually pretty good. That's pretty sensible, isn't it? Right?
Yeah, that would be pretty useful, to be fair. But I don't know.
You have to go through the whole thing
process and then keep on top of it as well.
Yeah.
How often do you have to renew your gas?
Just
5 years.
5 years, but registration's every year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
But 5 years is a refresher.
So you just got to keep on top
of
that.
I'd rather just chuck our gas man wherever he wants.
And we just sit down and have a bit of cake or something.
Yeah. You like your cake, don't you?
And we like our gas man.
Cake.
Do you want to talk about cake?
Yeah.
Thank
you
God
like
for
your
that.
gas man?
We like our gas man.
Oh, yeah, they've got a gas man.
I was going to ask one question.
Oh, go on.
What do you enjoy about the plumbing?
What do I enjoy about plumbing? It's like the bit that I used to enjoy about doing electrics. It's like kind of figuring out how everything's going to run. Like when I first started messing around with plumbing, you get to a point and then you've got like two open ends of a pipe and you're trying to like figure out which one needs to go where, and it doesn't make any sense. And you think, oh fuck me, if I'd started back there a different way around, I could have like made this work better. It's like kind of working things back and thinking of it a bit.
The thing is, with like we've just mentioned, within the bathroom game and that everything is so precise now in bathrooms.
Yeah, it's true.
Got to be.
It is true.
And it's got to be symmetrical. And where you put that pipe work has got to be bang on now for people, innit?
Yeah.
Do you know the way?
Yeah. And then that's the problem with getting someone in the middle of it. They don't know exactly what you always want and how far off the tiles are going to be off one side. Might be symmetrical. Exactly. We know everything that's going into that bathroom.
Yeah, that is a benefit of doing what we do, where we manage so much of it and do so much of it ourselves. Like, we're responsible for each step, so we're not messing ourselves. I mean, we do mess ourselves.
But at least we can just moan at ourselves.
You haven't got to rely on other people.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Is that the? Sorry, I've got loads of questions in my head.
Go on. We'll ask about the cake in a minute.
So yeah, what would you say is the trade that's let you down the most?
Oh, I don't think this is a reflection on any particular trade, but it's just a reflection on some of the knobheads that we've had over the years.
It's quite hard.
Oh, it's really horrible, actually, isn't it?
Why have you done this to us?
I don't know, just come to my head.
You get cocks in all of them, don't you?
Yeah, it's probably a mix between all of them.
Yeah, where's the most cocks?
I mean, the
we're not trying to catch you out.
No,
here.
you are though, and that's all right. I understand exactly what's happening.
Hate online or anything.
Yeah, no, that's what's going to happen, isn't it?
We got shafted by a plasterer once, didn't we?
Oh yeah, in a big way.
Oh, really?
Oh, come on,
Not
tell
a
us
current
that.
plasterer.
Not our current plasterer. Our current plaster's
It's-
mustard.
it's
What
good.
happened?
He came to. He kept bugging us about this job that we had booked in. He was like, "Are you ready for that job yet? Ready for that job?" And we weren't. Like, even though we booked it in, we were like aiming for a specific day, which we're absolutely gonna make it on. And he was like, "Oh, is that job ready? Is that job ready?" He kept hounding us, and I was like, "No, it's this day. It's in the diary." And a few days, must have been a couple of days before we were meant to start, I phoned him and said, "Right, you're good." And he was like, "Oh no, I've had to go somewhere else. I booked something else in. Sorry. What am I going to do?" And it was all like panic stations. I was like, "But you were." He was like genuinely bugging us about it for the longest time.
Yeah.
And then he squeezed it in, didn't he? We had a bit of a panic on because it was like midway through a bathroom. We didn't have anything else on.
Yeah.
He was just coming in to do a hit, and then we were just
Couldn't crack on without it being plastered.
yeah, basically. And then he eventually turned up about a day late, but he squeezed us in, and he turned up to have a little assess, and he came and he looked and he was like, "All right, lovely, yeah." So he got it all in his head what he needed to do. And then when he actually came to do it, we blue gritted everything. So obviously anything blue just needs plastering. And he came in, he opened the bathroom door and then shut it again. He went, "What is all that's got to be plastered?" We're like, yeah. Remember you were here yesterday looking at it? And he was like, "Yeah, I wasn't really paying attention," and he just hadn't allowed enough time, and he just rushed it. And you did God's work. You were in there for a whole day.
Oh, mate, yeah, just
I'd
like
say.
the whole place, like you screamed on so fast.
Like Artex.
Yeah.
Oh, mate,
Basically,
yeah,
you
it's
could
that.
climb up it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and obviously I was tiling all the walls and that, and they were all like,
Yeah.
so that sucked.
Yeah, so you had
And then
to
I had to
rub
like
it all
easy
down.
fill the entire room.
It was
pretty
bad.
much because like the whole thing crazed.
It was bad. It was
Yeah.
really, really bad.
Yeah.
It's the plasterers.
So but as I said, it's not a reflection of the entire.
We didn't say
We didn't
anything.
say it.
No, hold on. Hold on. That's not a reflection of the entire plastering community. That was just that
we
one
know.
dude.
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
binned him off.
Yeah.
All trades let people down, didn't they?
Binned him off.
Across the board, didn't it?
But ultimately, like doing what we do, we have to make sure that we can like guarantee our service and two, our actual like product. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's really important. So
Yeah,
if
because
you've
you
got-
want to do a good job for the client. If
Exactly.
people are letting you down, it puts a
Well, that's
reflect
the
on
why
you.
I stopped doing bathrooms, because as soon
You're
as
relying
you've
on
got
too many
somebody to let you down, like
Yeah.
a Sparky or
All right.
stand away. It is. You don't like it when it's at you, do you? Away. but it holds the old job up, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it does. Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
It does. Yeah.
Yeah, and bathrooms are a massive aggro job from customers as well.
Yeah.
You know, they all want the shit back. They're all stinky because they ain't got a shower. We all get it's like I never had a
They're
second.
horrible, aren't they?
Yeah, and you're always,
Unless they've got a
under
couple of them.
pressure. And you know, I've never had a second bathroom in my life, but suddenly, like, I turn up to these houses and if they haven't got a second bathroom, I'm like, ugh, why haven't you got a second bathroom? So we're getting rushed so much on this one.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I've got to go around my mother-in-law again to get right. But do you
Get them a
find?
Portaloo.
Do you find?
As part of the cost, you get a
Do you
Portaloo.
find,
Enjoy.
Do you find that, like, as you get through this, you might be on like a 4 or 5 month project, you find that your relationship is strained towards the end of it with your client sometimes?
we've been quite fortunate with our clients.
Yeah, we have,
with
really.
R&R. Yeah, I wouldn't even want to actually just
Yeah.
bollocks about that, to be fair. We've actually had some pretty good clients.
Yeah.
We've actually had.
I'd say, like we've always said, we kind of like try and manage people's expectations, because I think there is a fine line between like us working in someone's house and them living in a building site, depending on how far it's going. If we're doing like structural works, that's really invasive, and
Yeah.
like when we say it's going to be dusty, it's
Yeah.
going to be
'Cause it
dusty.
is
We
stressful.
say worst case scenario. We don't
Because
say,
you had a
"It's gonna be
spark
fine, it's
background
gonna be
as well, you
fine,"
must
know.
be quite messy.
Okay, well, I can't believe you're just coming at us. Like, I knew this was going to happen. I thought, do I mention it?
But
Yeah.
I actually started off as a Sparky as well, so
I-
don't worry about it.
Right. I am quite messy.
Oh, I wouldn't say that bad.
Thank you, Tom.
And he's the clean one.
I
Yeah,
don't know,
yeah. You are clean. You're meticulous.
I'll try.
But it's stressful though, isn't it? It's stressful for the customers. And do you, like, would you say, like, because builders always give deadlines.
Yeah, yeah,
Are you, like, would you say, have you gone over the deadline?
yeah.
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 A lot of times.
Plenty of times.
A lot of times.
Plenty of times.
yeah.
There's always variables. There's always things that happen. But again, it's just managing expectations, just keeping people ahead of the curve and saying, like, you know,
Yeah, sorry.
that's right.
What about when,
He's
say
always,
if
he's always interrupting.
it's a project like before Christmas, one of them
Oh,
ones
mate,
where a customer's got to get in before Christmas.
Well, we had one go over Christmas, didn't we?
That was
twice.
mate. Yeah,
Twice.
that was
We
good.
had
though.
two
That was
over
good.
Christmas, but it ain't been too bad, is it? It's like managing expectations, like Leo said. We give them worst case scenario, you know. We'd rather not be like, this is going to be the most swimming thing you've ever had in your life. We're going to be tearing your whole house down, but it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
We'll just be like, listen,
Put an extra 2 chairs at the Christmas dinner table.
We're going to be here.
We'll be at lunch.
Yeah, that's it. But as you say, it's just managing expectations and like. And I do get a bit flappy about it and try and just please everyone all the time. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's quite hard to steer away from that when you're geared that way. But you're a bit more pragmatic about it, and you're like, well, they haven't had this before, so they don't need it now. Do you know what I mean? If it's something new and a new extension, they're like, oh, could we have it for Christmas? And you're like, listen, I ain't Santa, all right?
Yeah.
No.
It's hard. It is hard because they are paying you and you want to please them, don't you?
Of course.
You do want to please them because that's how you get good reviews and word of mouth and that. But there's a line between people pleasing and actually, realism in it.
Yeah.
So the cakes then.
Yeah.
It's quite a big thing, isn't it?
It's become a thing. Yeah.
I haven't seen this.
Yeah, they like
So,
cakes.
like quite early on when we started our Instagram account, like obviously we were posting jobs we were doing, and then the client we were working for, she did catering, didn't she?
Oh yes,
She kept bringing us things to try, and so we were like,
canapes.
and we thought this is quite fun because we can just post like, oh, look at what our clients made us today, and it was like all fancy canapes and things like that, putting a funny spin on it.
Tom, I'm gonna have to flick you.
Oh yeah, I started tapping them. I saw
flicking.
it.
It's like, sorry about it.
It's all right,
You're
don't worry
right.
about
Sort
it.
of drum solo.
It's habit. It's all right. People do it all the time. So, but yeah, canapes.
Yeah, canapes and things like that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was all sorts of silly
fantastic.
things. Then she started bringing us soups, like all these fancy soups. she
Yeah,
made.
soups in mugs, wasn't it? While we were working instead of cup of tea.
Oh, it was nice. It was
like
good.
Homemade soup.
And then all these lovely little cakes.
Yeah.
Is this why deadlines aren't made?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
We
sit
wonder,
around
need more
why the books looking so bad?
basically. So yeah, that kind of was the beginning of it, wasn't it? And just started posting about it, and then it kind of became a thing. Then more like other clients then would look at our socials and then be like, oh, so see that you like a bit of cake, we got you a Swiss roll.
They will give you
oh,
cake.
right, cheers. And then we'd like take a picture of that, and then it was like just got more and more ridiculous. Then people started baking us stuff, like we'd turn up and they'd like bake a whole thing. And
I do
Candle
like a
lit.
Swiss roll though.
oh mate, the Swiss roll's up there.
Can't-
I
it's-
love a Swiss roll.
Yeah,
The
he's up
classics
there.
are
He's up
sometimes
there.
hard to beat.
So you get fed well on your jobs.
It seems that way, yeah.
We had a candlelit breakfast not too long
Yeah, we
ago.
did. Yeah. Someone did a candlelit.
So don't get you guys in unless you're going to cook.
Basically, like essentially, we, as we cost assess our clients, but we also make sure that they can bake. It's like, going and have a little nose around the kitchen. Oh, do you remember that? Actually, I'm going to bring this up.
Oh,
He messed
Jesus.
me up once. He bought me a cake from
I
a
can't
little
believe you're
deli.
bringing this up.
No, I'm gonna.
No.
He bought me a cake from a deli, like around the corner from a job where we were working, and we waited till I was like stuffing it in my face. I was like, bloody hell, mate, this Victoria sponge is delicious.
So far, it's a good story, right?
Yeah, lovely story so far. Thanks, mate. Very, very kind of you. And then, whilst I'm like shoveling it in, he was like, "Yeah, the old the lady that runs it said that her son made this yesterday at school. As
Not
his
at school.
made it at school for his project. I might be embellishing, I don't know, but it's for comedic effect. He said, yeah, a son made it at school for his little project. And I was like, getting it all back out again. He's proper done me.
Spit and snot.
Yeah, that's it.
Beautiful.
Bogue is in that and everything.
No, I can't even think about
Picking
it.
his bum.
No,
and stuff
no.
like that. Oh God.
Homemade.
No,
Homemade. Yeah.
whatever you said, I've replaced it with he made it at school the day before.
I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm just going to
Thank
leave
you.
it at that.
It's a
Let it have the story.
Thank
Let it have
you. Yeah, so we do like a cake,
But
don't
have
we?
you ever had any like people give you food and you looked at it and you thought to yourself,
it. Yeah, I mean, we did have that once. We had a.
Oh no.
We did up a. I'm not going to say what.
No, you've
it's
got to
gonna
be careful
Quite bad.
with this.
Yeah, you have to be careful with it. So I'll do it quite ambiguously.
Yeah, thank you.
But
great words you've got for builders.
So professional you
I played
builders.
Scrabble last
Vocabulary
night,
is
right?
beautiful.
Thank
It's
you.
like- I
And
like
you're from
this.
Maidstone?
I know, yeah.
You really are not like yeah.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't add up, does it?
No, I
No,
don't
no,
get
no.
it.
My missus, her family were predominantly all in
Yeah, see.
all in Tunbridge Wells, Royal
we get
Tunbridge
these
Wells.
Scrabble
Historic.
scores?
All in, they all like live over Tunbridge Wells way, and their kids at school, like as an insult, call each other a maidstone.
You never told me
I
this.
thought, oh, it's savage! Like, he's
I'd
such a
need-
maidstone.
I think I'd need a dictionary to read your quotes.
I'll come and just translate it for you.
I'm moving a chat next week. I'm going to get beaten up. I was going to step on the door.
This posh
Was you on
twat.
the outskirts of Maidstone?
Yeah, in the countryside.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It's in the nice bit.
Makes sense now.
I'm not.
He's not.
No.
But yeah. So you looked at this food, yeah.
Oh yeah. So we were eating like a substantial amount, wasn't it? Like it I remember the client actually counted up how, because there was a few different trays that she had pulled in, and I think in total it was in the hundreds of cookies,
not trays.
brownies. And things like that. It was in the hundreds. That all like. It was probably like, I think there was about six of us at the time, six or seven of us in the house at the time.
Yeah, so she went in on the treats.
She went in on it, and so we were doing this house up so she could leave the other house, get in there, and so we did this house up.
You're saying too much.
Oh yeah, we probably are, aren't we?
Yeah.
No, we're not.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Could be anyone. Could be anyone.
We've done a lot of houses. Where was it?
But yeah, did this house up, moved in. Went to sort the other house out that she had just gone from.
Where she'd been baking.
Tore that kitchen out. Boy, oh boy.
It was so bad.
Because there was Marmite in there. Marmite like spread on the shelves. I put my hand in like... it was savage.
But we got in there and we were sort of started ripping this kitchen out, and then it's like the penny dropped. Didn't it? We were like, hold on a minute. We've been eating food that's come out of this kitchen for the last few weeks. It was so bad.
You've never refused any point blank on site and gone, I'm not eating that.
No, you have done it.
Have you?
I don't think I have.
The toast.
Oh yeah, but I didn't insult them.
No.
And they didn't know. I haven't done that.
Oh.
No, but there was this house we were working in. It was absolutely disgusting. I can't even tell you how bad it was. It was alive. Like they whoever re-roofed it like years prior to us getting there, it used to be thatched and they just pushed all the thatch in. So inside the loft where I'm like running cables through, it was just like crawling with animals. She had like a dog that was like half dead. It pissed everywhere. She didn't have a fitted kitchen. She just had like sideboards, and all the bottoms of the sideboards had soaked all the piss up. They were all rotten.
Christ.
She had like about 1,000 cats. Maybe 2,000 cats, like chickens. She kept chickens in the kitchen. And it was like
impressive.
It was absolutely ranting. She didn't even know she had a basement until she didn't. The foot of my stepladder like broke through a rotten floorboard, and I had a little look, and I was like, "What the fuck? There's a whole basement down here," and it was full of water.
Oh my God!
And she didn't have running water for years. She got it from a well in the garden. This place was
putting you at work.
And what job was you doing here?
So we were rewiring the place, and it was
that like a first job that you took on? Or
this is quite some time ago when I was an apprentice, and I was like, "What am I doing here?"
So you didn't take that job on the last couple of years?
No. Like when we pulled up to this house, we couldn't even find it because it was just so overgrown. It was mental, absolutely bonkers. And so this old woman that lived there, her brother and sister-in-law had moved in with her to try and help her get the house straight and whatnot. So they were the ones that were employing us, and they were definitely having some sort of breakdown. It was sad to see, but also hilarious. Sorry, but it was. And so like you'd go up to the door and like knock, and you'd hear them shouting and screaming and crying, and then she'd open the door and be like, "Morning!" Like, oh my God. And but yeah, she'd bring in like, obviously, so I've been in this house for some time, and she'd bring in like trays of tea and toast and whatnot in the mornings, and you'd be like, "Oh, thanks so much," and then she'd go. And where it's like in the middle of the countryside, we're like opening sash windows and just frisbeeing toast out the windows. She's like, "I've got no idea what that is. Like, is it Marmite?" Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh mate, it was absolutely terrible.
Oh, dear,
yeah, that was bad. That was awful. But yeah, I think the only other issue that we have is I'm one of them weird vegetarians, and obviously, Tom just eats all of the meat. Like Tom doesn't eat vegetables.
I'll just cancel him out.
So together we make one functioning human, and so like. There was a little old lady we did a job for, and she kept bringing out sausage rolls, and she was like, "Oh, Leo, you're vegetarian, aren't you?" And I was like, "Yeah, but it's all right, don't worry about it." And she was like, "Oh, it's all right, I'll sort you out tomorrow." And tomorrow came out with a whole plate of sausage rolls. I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh, yeah." And then after that, no more mention of it, but just kept bringing the sausage rolls. So every time she came out, I was just looking at Tom like, "Well, you've got to eat all these because do you know what I mean?" So
I don't do well pastry.
Have you been vegetarian a long time?
Yeah, long time. Yeah.
For the purpose of animal cruelty, or
when I was little, I just didn't like the idea of eating it.
Didn't like the idea of eating meat, for
and it just sort of stuck.
Moral compass.
I'm gutted. We should have had cakes on the table today.
They got cakes upstairs.
Have they? What cake?
Let's get up there. What are we
What are we
doing
here? Why are we still chatting? Let's wrap this up. We're 49 minutes in.
They got some cupcakes upstairs.
Have they?
They bought them in. Who bought them in?
Abby.
I thought she bought them in for them to.
What, the ones not from paintball?
That's a while ago, wasn't it?
Pete took all them. Yeah, it's about 2 weeks old now.
No, them ones,
We're
they're
all right,
new
cheers.
ones. They're new ones.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
We'll go up after this.
Yeah, all right then.
Fuck yes.
How do you two get on? Because it's quite hard working in a pair.
Really bad. Really bad. No, we're all
No,
right,
we're-
mate.
yeah.
Yeah. No, we get on all right, actually. We have not ever...
No, I've never exploded.
No, never exploded. Not once. We just fucking bury it down deep and then go and just fucking... I
Punch the wall.
Punch my punching
Pete,
bag.
I thought you said Pete the missus up.
Sometimes he just goes too far. I mean, I did think the same thing, but I wasn't going to say it. I've got a filter, believe it or not. This twat.
What's that?
You just haven't got a filter anymore, have you? It's fucked.
I thought I did, but we don't say it on a live show, and I probably should have held it in.
Yeah.
I said about period pains because I had this
Yeah,
thing
I know you
strapped
did.
to me,
Yeah. It was bad, wasn't
and
it?
I said, "Oh,
You were really upset about that.
what's that?"
Yeah.
I know. Yeah,
I
What
could
was
hear it in
this?
your
What
voice.
was this? Was this like some sort of one of them things that like simulates?
period
Periods,
pains, and
yeah.
I said, "What are women moaning about?
We've
Well, I
got-
needed that bad."
Can you buy these things? Can you?
Yeah. You can buy them. Is it actually a period pain simulator or is it an exercise thing?
Bit of both.
You got it
Don't think so.
Oh.
Taking it home, have you? Yeah.
here? Just to really emulate.
Just to really
Just
emulate.
give it to yourself.
Just to really emulate your male menstruation this day, Robin.
But yeah, no, we do get on, don't we?
Yeah.
We've never exploded at each other, which is weird because like, and I say this a lot, but essentially Tom like works for hours on something, making something really beautiful
Nah,
and nice.
this is BS. This is hard.
It's not. It's a fact. Like he works for hours making something real nice, like, and it's incredibly skilled fella. Like, and then I come in and just fucking absolutely smash the shit out of it. I'll trip
true,
over
it's
something.
not.
I'll kick a can of paint over. I'll like scratch
Did
something.
a clumsy one.
Proper in a big way. Yeah.
I did it on last Monday, didn't I?
What did you do?
Last Monday, first thing I did, turned up, literally opened the tin of paint and poured it down my boot. I poured it down
I was
my
in
boot.
another room and he was just like, Leo, coat black. I was like, what's going on? I came running through and it's like on and in his boot.
Poured it in my boot. I thought, what am I doing?
A little bit of a nervous breakdown.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
It's like some sort of twisted kind of self-harm.
Yeah. You're usually like straight as a die, but
Yeah,
you
it
really
didn't go
fucked up
down.
that.
I had a
night,
weird
didn't you?
weekend. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
you did. Yeah, you did have a weird weekend.
So what are we gonna see? Like, what's the plan for the future? Because like I said, you've popped up now on social media. You're getting a YouTube channel together, yeah? Is that right?
Yeah. So
you
we've
across
just
all
started.
platforms.
Yeah, I guess so. Like, we are on TikTok, but not really bothered with that.
Yeah, we're not. None of us.
I don't like it.
Bothered
It's
with it. I hate
Do
it.
you want to give all your information to China, do you?
Oh, it's just yeah, I ain't so worried about that. But
Do you want China to know how to build houses? Do you really know about eating cakes? Do you want them to have that information?
Want to get addicted to fentanyl?
that's good.
Sorry,
But
pull out all the.
where do you see the older future going though? Like, what's
I don't know, man. We're just taking it as it comes, and I know it's really boring, but like all of the opportunities like this one, are kind of blowing our minds a little bit, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like working with brands that we've used for years, and then all of a sudden they're talking to us and want us to do things with them, and
Yeah, and you like put face to the brand. You're like, oh, it's not actually as scary as you think it is.
yeah, it is weird.
Like, yeah,
It's a very, very strange thing, but we just, we're never going to do anything that doesn't actually align with who we are and what we're about. Like, so we only work with brands that we actually like enjoy working with and that we can actually put to use. I think there's a lot to be said for making sure that your integrity is in check. You know what I mean? With all of this sort of thing. So we're just going to carry on.
Like we had some offers for soap before,
Soap,
and we're not great at washing, so it's like,
insurance companies that wouldn't let us use their insurance.
yeah. What's that about? Would you advertise our insurance? Okay, can we have some insurance? No.
Oh, that's a
Bit weird.
weird, isn't it?
Yeah, so we were like, well, no then. We can't do that.
We'll ask you about that after.
Cargo pants. Hey man, do you want to try out our cargo pants? No.
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
We're
thanks.
never gonna.
So that was weird. Yeah, so in terms of that, just carry on enjoying this and our actual real life work. Just carry on getting better at what we're doing. Just trying to push the boundary and hopefully get on some projects of our own that are.
Gain some more free time.
Yeah, not to go on holiday, but just to
but
like.
to do more stuff like this without panicking almost.
Yeah.
You know, which is not saying this is a panic today, but you know, sometimes you're like, bollocks, we've got to go and film something for 2 days, and it's like we're in the middle of this project and the customer's fuming, they ain't got a toilet.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's hard to balance it.
It's been a fun conversation. I've
Yeah,
enjoyed it.
this, yeah.
Likewise. Thank you very much for having us
No,
on.
you-
Might take one part out, but
What part? Oh, your bit.
I don't really care, to be honest.
You don't anymore.
You're
innit?
dangerous,
You've
you are.
actually, mate, you've actually turned a corner. Yeah, because normally you are the one who worries about things, but at the moment you fucking don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and honestly, I thought you were going to go off on one, like from what I've seen and listened to, and I thought you were going to be like just like cool and calm. And actually,
No,
I got it all wrong.
We're switching it up.
We're switching,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a maniac.
A boring maniac.
I didn't say that.
It's just a realisation in his face. What did you say to me? His cocks were turning in his head. He's going, did we do it? I can't believe what you just said.
You're going to throw that at him.
I'm only fucking around.
Yeah.
You're going to put his finger in it?
Yeah, let's do
His
it.
dick, not his finger.
Does it go small enough?
Winding down
Is this the circumciser 3000?
I've already been done, mate. I've already been talking about that.
No, wait, sorry.
Been done.
Oh, that went mad, that last one.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much for having us.
Tom,
Appreciate it.
Leo,
Great.
thanks very much. And if you want to give yourself a plug, who can people follow on the platforms?
Oh, just search us on Instagram mostly for R&R Building and on YouTube as well.
Yes, please.
Do it. Give us a
Cheers,
follow.
guys.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Thank
Just
you.
going to chop Pete's dick off.
I'll give you a hand.
One outro.
Yeah, one outro.